All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're unpacking a report that, at first glance, seems to flip a core belief of modern Hinduism completely on its head. It's a story that starts with a traveler's pretty shocking observation, and, well, it ends with a big question about language, law, and what really makes one animal different from another. So, this is the sentence that kicked this whole thing off. A direct quote from someone's visit that just immediately raises a huge red flag. A bull? Sacrificed in a Hindu temple? I mean, that sounds impossible, doesn't it? And that's really the mystery we're digging into in this explainer.
Okay, so where did this claim even come from? Our story begins at the very famous Kamakaya temple in North India. Now, this place is a major hub for the worship of tantric goddesses. And a visitor there reported seeing something that, well, it seemed to defy everything they thought they knew. Now, the specifics here are what make this so compelling. The report wasn't some vague rumor. It pinpointed the exact location and the event. But more than that, the visitor described this really powerful, personal moment, locking eyes with the bull, seeing it become profoundly calm, and then witnessing the sacrifice. That kind of vivid detail is what made this whole account so troubling and so hard to just dismiss.
So this report immediately creates a massive contradiction. It just clashes directly with these deeply held cultural norms, religious principles, and, even the law of the land.
This is the question that just instantly pops into your head, isn't it? The sanctity of the cow is one of the most widely known things about Hinduism, and killing cows is literally illegal across most of India. So how could this report possibly be true?
And this, right here, illustrates the paradox perfectly. On one side, you have the law and a core principle of not eating beef. On the other, you've got an eyewitness account of a bull, the source of beef, being sacrificed at a holy site. The two just seem completely incompatible. The person who first heard this report was so disturbed by this logical puzzle that he turned to a very 21st century tool to solve what is really an ancient question. He asked his AI companion. He just couldn't square the circle, so he laid out the problem. A prominent tantric practitioner says Hindus don't eat beef, yet there's a report that a bull was sacrificed at a tantric temple. He needed an explanation that could somehow make sense of it all. And this was the AI's big reveal. It confirmed that, yes, sacrifices do happen at the temple, but it's goats, ducks, and one other animal that just changes everything: the buffalo. So, here's the crucial point. The AI drew a very hard line. The animal in question wasn't bull, in the way most of us think of it, as a male cow. It was a buffalo. And in this context, that is not a minor detail. That is the entire explanation. And this brings us right to the heart of the matter. For this explanation to actually work, there has to be a real, meaningful difference between a cow and a buffalo. So let's explore what that distinction really is. This is the natural, skeptical question, right? I mean, especially from a Western perspective, where the word beef can cover both. The person in our source material felt the exact same way. He'd always just considered buffalo meat to be a type of beef. But when you actually lay out the distinctions, you can see they are legally and culturally worlds apart in India. Killing a bull from a cow? Illegal. Killing a buffalo? That's permitted. One is sacred, the other isn't even categorized as a cow at all. Even the meat has a different name. So the shocking report was likely accurate. The visitor just misidentified the animal based on their own cultural framework. So we have our answer. The visitor saw a buffalo sacrifice, which is permitted. Case closed. But, solving the technical mystery just opens the door to a whole bunch of deeper, more philosophical questions. And that leaves us with some of these deeper questions. Does this modern legal and cultural distinction go back 5,000 years to the ancient scriptures? From a common sense perspective, are they really all that different? It really begs the question of why one animal is considered so sensitive and sacred while the other one is not. The conclusion from our source is kind of a split decision. He accepts the technical explanation that in India, a buffalo is not a cow. Okay. But on a personal, just common sense level, he doesn't really agree with that classification. He sees them as fundamentally the same. And this is where we'll leave it. It's a fascinating look at how culture, law, and language can create these categories that have actual life or death consequences. It all comes down to classification, and it forces us to ask, should we classify them differently?